AI obsession. What could possibly go wrong? AI is now writing your emails, running your business, and basically doing your job faster than you can blink. So, yeah, what could possibly go wrong? In this episode of Giggles and Shit, I talk about my AI obsession and AI agents that act like employees, build content in minutes, manage social media, answer my phone, and even run parts of my business. But Diane's not buying the hype. We get into the real questions like job loss, humans becoming obsolete, and whether this whole thing is starting to feel a little too much like Terminator. We also talk about the pressure to learn AI or risk being left behind, the comparison to when the internet first hit. Yeah, we were both there. And whether we're creating tools or slowly replacing ourselves. It's smart, it's uncomfortable, and yeah, it might freak you out a little. Welcome to episode 7, My AI Obsession. What could possibly go wrong? Hi, I'm Jill Button.
And I'm Diane Cross.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
the
the Giggles
Giggles
and
and
Shit
Shit
Show.
Show, the podcast where two Gen X friends talk about midlife chaos, careers, relationships, aging parents, adult kids, and everything else life throws at us.
The show is honest, unfiltered, and occasionally a little inappropriate because sometimes the only way to survive the insanity is to laugh at it. So grab a coffee or pour a glass of wine or something stronger and join us for some giggles as we talk some shit.
Welcome to the Giggles and Shit Show.
Jill, I hear you have a bit of an unhealthy obsession. What is going on?
So, I am totally obsessed with AI, artificial intelligence. So, you we've talked about AI in some respects, but I have been absolutely blown away by how incredible AI has become. The beginning of AI several years ago started with ChatGPT, and
Mhm.
people could, ask for recipes, they could use it to build content, they would use it for, in place of Google searches. And as I have started to become more and more educated, I'm actually taking a free course from Harvard around AI, and it's available. I'll put a link in the description. And the more I learn about it and the more I explore the available tools that are out there and how they can actually help my business, I am absolutely blown away. So when I, for my business, would write articles, writing an article for my business was usually about like software, talking about software, how to buy software, boring, boring topics. But it would take me hours to write a topic, an article from scratch. Now I can use AI to actually write an outline, or I can actually give it an outline and tell it to write the article. And then I can actually just edit it so that it's in my voice. I can even train it to write it in my voice. And instead of taking, 4, 5, 6 hours to write and edit, I can now do it in 5 minutes. It's incredible how quickly you can actually create content. So I've been researching about this new sort of next generation of AI called agenic or agents. Have you heard of AI or agenic AI?
No.
So AI or agenic AI agents are essentially, these are employees or an agent, somebody who works for you autonomously, who can actually do things that you can tell it or train it to do. And so in my business, there's a lot of manual activity. So when we're running a request for proposal, we have to combine a lot of spreadsheets into one. We have to do a lot of math. We have to then convert that into a presentation. And it takes hours and hours and hours to do that kind of work because it's all very manual and you're using different applications. So these AI agents you can train to actually do all that work for you. So they will access the systems that you use, like Excel and
Mhm.
or any other application that you want it to, and you train it how to do what you have done. So things that would normally take uh, days to do, you can do in minutes. It's become so advanced that there's businesses out there who now offer AI agents, and they call it a virtual team. So I'm testing two packages right now. One's called Marbleism, and Marbleism is six agents who can help businesses, and they act as your virtual team. So one does social media, from creating the actual post, writing the copy, the graphics, posting it on your social media, and they'll even comment on the post if people make or engage with your social media. I know you're not into social media, but that would normally take, anywhere from days uh, to now minutes to do. So it's absolutely incredible. So one of the agents is a social media guy, one is a blog writer, one is a sales agent, one is a receptionist. So you can call a number and it's like, thank you for calling Procure Pro. How may I help you today? And it's an AI agent who's been trained on my business and can answer all kinds of questions.
Wow.
It's absolute, and I have a virtual assistant who reads my email.
Wow. I understand the allure for sure of having all
Yes.
of those things taken care of by somebody that you don't have to pay.
Yes.
Um, I also worry that we're getting to a point where a lot of people are no longer going to be necessary in their fields, and including myself. I think because I'm a surgical booking clerk, a
Yep.
lot of my job is taking a schedule from one system and inputting it into another system while adding the names and the parameters and things like that, as well
Yep.
as helping people that need help with the booking part of it. But I feel like at some point that is going to be completely obsolete, and that worries me because I'm not independently wealthy enough to just, pivot and go into something else. But I feel like AI is gonna cause the loss of a lot of human income.
And I think that's the conversation, right? So my obsession with
Yeah.
AI is to understand it and to leverage it. But I think the more important conversation is, how do we look at AI? And so many people like yourself perceive AI as a means to replace them from a job perspective.
Yeah.
When I talk to Sam, because it has the ability to create, whether it's, images, video, I can upload an article and literally create a video from it that fast. And I feel like, while there is absolutely, I'm not naive, going to be a loss of potential jobs, I think that it's so important for people to realize that you cannot just sit on your hands and worry that your job's going to be taken away. You really need to figure out how to master AI and use it and master it. So you are the master. And there's lots of people out there who are smarter than me, way smarter than me, who talk about how you are now the director of AI and how you are directing AI how to do things. Because even if we relied on AI independently without oversight to do things, it
Mhm.
makes mistakes. It really does. And this is the whole conversation. I don't know if you've heard about the battle between Anthropic and the US government, and how Anthropic, who makes Claude AI, refuses to allow the US to actually use their tool without guardrails in a military
Mm.
setting because of AI makes mistakes and they know it. So unleash AI without guardrails, without oversight in a military situation, we're talking Terminator, right?
Yeah,
So,
nobody wants to be the next Oppenheimer.
no.
So, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So my belief is that for those who were previously in a role who AI might replace, you
Mm.
better learn about how you can control AI and become the master. Otherwise, you will be displaced. And I think too many people are afraid of it. And it kind of goes back to, when the internet came, right? People
Mhm.
were talking about the ills of the internet and how
And they were
there
right.
to, to some, yes, to
Yeah.
some, yes, but can you imagine a world without internet? Even those people who were afraid of internet could not stop internet. It's going
No.
to come, it's going to be here. It's how we control it and how we master it, I think is the more important question.
I feel like though, just like the internet with I don't think it is controllable. You know what I mean? Don't you feel like your life has been steamrollered by the internet? Because before it, people had to actually go places and do things outside of the house in order to do any sort of research or learning about things. And it has made a lot of things very convenient, but it's also made people extraordinarily lazy and isolated. I feel like this entire our kids' generation have lost the ability to speak to people in
Hmm.
person.
Yeah.
And we're getting to the point now where even just with the internet, before AI, even just with the internet, the amount of steamrollering that has happened since that became readily available in every household is has not made the world a better place, in my opinion. I
So,
feel like and we can't stop it. We
no.
haven't been able to stop that, and now we're going forward to the next thing. It's like effing with Mother Nature. Every time you screw around with Mother Nature bites right back, and that's been proven time and time again. I feel like we're living at the beginning of Terminator or Jurassic Park. One of the two, if not both, at the same time. And it makes me wonder how long the planet is even sustainable, you know?
Yeah. That's definitely an existential crisis discussion
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I think, though, Diane, the challenge with having a binary discussion is it's either yes or no. It's either internet or no internet. But it's not that's not the reality of it, right? So if you look at the internet, it's not the internet, which is the pipe, that is the problem. It's the social media built by man
Yeah.
without guardrails that has caused a global uh, depressive
Epidemic. Yeah.
state. Yeah. So this is my point. We cannot stop AI. We
No.
better learn how to use AI. And if you're not learning about AI, you got to. And it is so critical for people to, I'm not going to say embrace AI, but you have to. The thing about AI is it doesn't have original thought. It is an extrapolation of all things that it has learned.
Mhm.
So it's not creating an original Da Vinci. It's creating a copy or an extrapolation of what a Da Vinci could be. So we as humans have a uniqueness that an AI can never replicate. And it is that and our ability to create, which we created the internet, we created AI, that we need to have people realize that you need to master it. Like my messaging to Sam, who is in animation and art,
Right.
is is that you are an artist and that the creation of something new, even if it's an extrapolation, people will not want. like you see an AI video out there, it's an immediate version, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if Sam used AI to create something new because they're controlling it and mastering it or making the process easier, that is what we need to do. And it's whether it's, you know, building new social media. Like there's a Canadian social media platform that's being released called Gander Social, and
Hmm.
it is intended to be all that is good and removing all that is bad of all of the platforms, X, Facebook, whatever. Anyway, I feel
But who
like
decides that? Who decides what's good and what's bad? Is there an ethics
humans.
committee, and are they actually having discussions with other humans about what the guardrails are on that? You know what I mean?
But I think that's it. It's humans that decide. It's humans that create. It's humans that have to step up. Like the fact that, and I don't know the head of Anthropic, but the fact that he decided no, to the US government,
Yeah.
you cannot use our technology to wage war uncontrolled.
Mm.
Um, and that was what the US wants to do. They want to unleash AI and the ability to wage war using AI without human intervention.
It's terrifying.
Yes, it is. I mean, there's
It's
a lot
horrifying.
bad going on in the world, right? But
Yes.
I do believe it is up to humans, whether it's the head of Anthropic, you or myself, how we treat and accept, because there's a lot of people out there who will use it, bad actors who will use it to,
Mm.
create a clone of a young, unsuspecting girl. And it's already happening, and it's happening on Grok of, the despicable Elon Musk. And it's up to the people who are creating the technology to ensure the guardrails are there, because too many people just kind of go, well, I built it, it's up to you to figure out how to use it. I think that's the
Irresponsible.
bigger, well, it's
Yeah.
irresponsible, and I think that's the bigger conversation, because
Yeah.
again, I'm obsessed with AI because I look at it as a tool for my business,
Yeah.
but I'm also thinking about the same things and reactions that you have, right?
Yeah.
I could literally be replaced by AI. My plan is to harness AI and build a platform where procurement people can use my agents that I create to do their job better. I don't think it
Better.
will
Yeah.
ever fully replace humans in some roles. It's about, that strategic design. I don't think it'll ever replace, again, original thought, right? They can replace processes. And I hate to say they can do your job putting information from one system into another. But if
Yeah.
you learned AI and actually how to control it, then you may actually be able to do a job that is not a repetitive one, but one that could actually, create a system for doctors who or surgical. Anyway, I don't know. That's my feeling. But I'm obsessed because if you go online and if you look at a YouTube video, the latest one is by Google called Notebook LM. It is I spent last weekend playing around with this AI tool, and it was absolutely mind blowing what it could do.
Yeah. It's exciting. I mean, there are exciting components to it for sure. The amount of lives that it's going to make far easier. I don't know that that's going to outweigh the lives that it's going to make much harder
Yeah.
as far as the
I,
struggle, the financial struggle. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean, they said the same thing about the Industrial Revolution, right? When machines were created to replace humans who were doing manual labor.
Yeah. The thing back then though, we didn't have nearly as many humans as
True.
we do now.
True.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is an exciting time to live in for sure. We've lived through a lot. I remember in the 70s having to stretch your phone cord into the hallway so you could make a private phone call, right?
Yep.
And now we're to the point where
Mom, get off the line.
it's my turn. Tell Brenda it's my turn. But now we're at an age where you don't actually have to be uh, intelligent or creative to make content that looks like you're intelligent and creative.
I agree to an extent. I mean, that's where for me, I use AI to extrapolate my content or create outlines for my content, but it is always like when I create an article, it's usually from my book. Like I've uploaded my book into the AI ether and I
Mhm.
will write articles from my book. So, and plus I've been in the business that I've been in for, 35 years. So, it's taking what's in my brain and getting it out on paper. I find AI is helpful in doing that and being able to, take an article and create a video, or I can even create a podcast of two people talking about an article that I wrote. It's just, again, mind-blowing stuff that's available.
Yeah.
So, what is your experience? Well, here's a good example. In a previous episode, we were talking about your idea for an app, right? Your
Right.
idea was to create an app which would act as a helper for people like you and I who don't know what to make for dinner,
Yeah.
what the app is for dinner.
What the F
So,
is for dinner?
right.
Yeah.
So you could literally think of it this way. AI for good would be to create an AI companion who could help busy working mothers of a certain age and help them by doing things that are laborious or stressful, like planning your meals or creating a shopping list, having those groceries delivered. There's so much good that can be done with it, whether it's, creating an AI companion for women who are busy and frazzled to the elderly who need somebody to keep them company, to chat with them, to, keep them intellectually stimulated. So I believe there's a lot of bad actors out there for sure. There's a lot of
Yeah.
bad that can be done, but I have to believe in humanity, even though there's not a lot of evidence right now, that, good will come of it, right?
Yeah. Well, let's hope. It's the basis for every Hollywood movie that the humans will prevail, even when AI comes back to bite us in the ass. That, the Will Smiths of the world will come back and fight the robots for us, and we will live.
Yeah. Famous last words. Stay tuned. Well, that's it for today's episode. As always, we had a few giggles and we talked about a lot of shit.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Giggles and Shit Show. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who could use a giggle.
You can follow the show and join the conversation on Substack at gigglesandshit.substack.com. That's giggles and shit with an n.substack.com. Subscribe to get new episodes, stories, and behind the scenes updates from the show straight to your inbox. Until next time, keep on giggling through the chaos and talking shit. Done. Nailed
Done.
it.
Nailed it. Oh gosh.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Giggles and Shit Show. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe on Substack at gigglesandshit.substack.com so you'll never miss an episode. You'll get all our content, podcasts, videos, and newsletter delivered right to your inbox. Join our chat to post your very own shit or hit list. We want to hear about the shit that's driving you crazy or making your week a hit. Come laugh, cry, and keep it real with us and our Gen X community.